Skeletal muscle fibers contract only if stimulated by a motor neuron. The connection or synapse between a neuron and a muscle fiber where this stimulation occurs is called the neuromuscular junction, or NMJ. The neuromuscular junction forms between the axon terminal of a neuron, which is the expanded end of a long process called the axon, and a portion of the muscle plasma membrane called the motor end plate. Note that no physical contact takes place between the neuron and the muscle fiber. Instead, there is a narrow space between the two called the synaptic cleft. We will now look at the steps of the first phase of muscle contraction, called the excitation phase, in which a neuron stimulates or excites the muscle to contract. First, an action potential, or electrical stimulus, arrives at the axon terminal. The action potential then stimulates the synaptic vesicles to release a chemical called acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft. Acetylcholine is a chemical known as a neurotransmitter because it transmits the stimulation across the synapse. During the third step of excitation, acetylcholine quickly diffuses across the cleft and binds to its receptors on the motor end plate. Acetylcholine receptors are ligand-gated cation channels that open and allow sodium ions to pass when acetylcholine binds to them. Notice the folds in the motor end plate. These increase its surface area so there can be many acetylcholine receptors concentrated close to the site of acetylcholine release. As positively charged sodium ions enter the muscle fiber, a local depolarization develops in the motor end plate. We call this depolarization an end plate potential. In the next section, we will look at how this electrical change in the muscle fiber spreads and leads to contraction.